Curious why we lost the war. The seasoned Kerr veteran's mandibles clicked in irritation as he sipped his drink. I'll tell you, we never had a hope against those deranged primates. The young reporter leaned in, antennae quivering with curiosity. She'd heard tales of the infamous human-Khur conflict, but first-hand stories were rare. Most veterans avoided the memories. But surely the Empire had the edge in military strength, she began. Military strength? The veteran let out a grating, chittering laugh. Let me explain something about humans and war. You think you grasp violence? Combat? You don't. Humans turned war into an art long before they left their home planet. While we were perfecting plasma weapons and energy shields, they were inventing ever more creative ways to kill each other with sharpened metal and explosives. But that's so basic, the journalist objected. Basic? He slammed down his drink. Let me tell you about basic. Our first clash with human forces. We deployed flawless formations, geometric patterns optimized by our best military AIs. You know what they did? Laughed at our formations, then started hurling rocks. Not just any rocks. Tungsten rods from orbit. Do you know what happens when you drop a telephone pole-sized chunk of metal from space? They called it rods from God. Pure kinetic devastation. No radiation, no energy signatures, just death from above. The journalist's antennae drooped. But what about our superior numbers? He laughed again, harsher this time. That's the best part. We thought the same. We outnumbered them 10-1. But humans excel at fighting when outnumbered. They have legends about it. Thermopylae made into a sport as we developed doctrines based on logic and efficiency. They created video games simulating ever more complex combat. By the time we met them, their civilians had spent more time thinking about tactics than our generals. But that's just simulation, she argued. Simulation? That's just training for them. Every human child grows up playing war games. Capture the flag, paintball, laser tag. Combat is entertainment. And that's not even the most frightening thing. He leaned in, voice dropping. It's their creativity. We thought we'd master warfare. Science, precision, calculated risks. But humans see a battlefield as a canvas. At Imus and Tori, we had them trapped. Better numbers, better position, better firepower. They were finished. So they detonated their own antimatter reactors, frying both fleet systems. Then, while everyone was dead in space, they boarded us with chemical rockets. Imagine being in a state-of-the-art warship, only to see humans in pressure suits cutting through your hull with superheated metal, singing war songs as they did it. The journalist's mandibles twitched, but their technological limitations. That's where everyone misjudges them. Humans see technology as just another tool. Plasma rifles, ballistic weapons, quantum computers, analog systems. They use whatever works. And their language, ever heard. There's more than one way to skin a cat. It's an idiom about problem solving, but think about it. They have a saying about multiple ways to remove an animal's hide. That's who we were up against. But our ships are weapons. Human ships? While we build elegant vessels, they strapped engines to massive chunks of metal. Not beautiful, but brutal. Overbuilt to take punishment and keep fighting. No fancy shields on small ships, just layers of armor. And their arsenal? Everything. Energy, kinetic, chemical, biological, even information. They weaponize rumors, stories, urban legends, sowing fear and doubt. By war's end, our troops surrendered because they believed humans could smell fear and would grant mercy if you didn't resist. That's absurd, the journalist said. Absurd? Humans don't care about absurd, only effectiveness. If it works, they'll use it. He finished his glass. But the real reason we lost, the fundamental reason humans can't be beaten in war. Why? They enjoy it, not the killing. Well, some do, and those are terrified, but the challenge, the strategy, the puzzle. War is a game to them, and they're masters at it. He gestured for another drink. After we surrendered, they invited our leaders to a paintball game, said it would help post-war relations. Imagine, the highest-ranking survivors getting pelted with colored balls by laughing humans who treated it like a party. Disturbing, the journalist said, Disturbing doesn't begin to describe it. During the war, their civilians built models of our ships, created simulated battles, wrote fiction about alternate outcomes. Their whole society is built around analyzing and enjoying conflict. He leaned back, compound eyes reflecting starlight. We fought soldiers. They fought as warriors. We fought with science. They fought with art. We fought because we had to. They fought because they'd waited their whole existence for a worthy enemy. The journalist was silent, absorbing it all. Did you think they'll ever change? Become more civilized? He chittered darkly. They are civilized. That's what makes them so dangerous. They've kept their warrior spirit while building a sophisticated society. Ballet dancers practice martial arts. Scientists play war games. Politicians hunt for sport. Their culture is built on being both refined and formidable. Look at them right now, just having fun, arm wrestling and betting, but threaten their world, and they drop the civility fast. Every species that's fought them has ended up dead or surrendered. And why is that? Because humans don't just practice war. They transcend it. Violence becomes art. Conflict becomes dance. Battle becomes symphony. They're the gods of war. The rest of us are just doing arithmetic while they compose grand operas of destruction. He stood, mandibles clicking. Next time someone calls humans primitive for using projectile weapons or backward for keeping armies, remember, every piece of primitive tech is something they found a use for that we never considered. Their old traditions are sharpened by millennia of warfare. Their love of competition drives them to innovate. He paused at the door. And if you ever fight a human, surrender immediately. Otherwise, they'll take your weapon, improve it, and use it against you, probably humming a tune while they do. With that, he left, leaving the young journalist deep in thought about a species that made warfare an art, and why that made them the most terrifying warriors in the galaxy. At the bar's end, the humans were singing about the grand old Duke of York. The journalist decided she didn't want to know the rest of the lyrics. As she prepared to leave, a human in a formal uniform approached. Couldn't help but overhear. Your friend got some things right, but missed the best parts. Best parts, she asked. He grinned, showing teeth, a sign of amusement for humans, but a threat in most civilizations. Your veterans saw us at war. That's like seeing a performance's finale without the rehearsals. Did I fight? No, I was a kid, but we all study it now. Required learning. How not to start an interstellar war 101. Honestly, it should be how to end one fast if someone else starts it. He gestured to the stars. Most species see resources, territory, strategy. Humans see every sci-fi story, every imagined battle, every heroic last stand. But the real kicker? We don't actually want to fight. We prepare obsessively. But our greatest heroes are those who avoid war. We honor commanders who win without fighting, diplomats who prevent conflict, leaders who keep peace. He finished his drink. That's why we're the gods of war. We know war so well. We know when not to use it. Like any true artist, our greatest works come from choosing not to create all. He stood, straightening his uniform. That's why we're drinking together now, not fighting. As much as we excel at war, we're even better at avoiding it. The only thing humans love more than a good fight is a good reason not to have one. He returned to his companions, now singing about 99 bottles of beer. The journalist looked at her notes, then at the stars, and finally understood. Humans weren't the gods of war because they fought best, but because they understood best when not to fight. Behind her, the humans started singing again, this time about a buffalo soldier. She decided some songs and some species were best appreciated from a safe distance, preferably behind reinforced armor. As she reflected on the officer's words, the bar's mood shifted. The singing stopped. The humans stared at a news broadcast. Pirates had attacked a refugee ship near the Carina Nebula. Instantly, their demeanor changed. Smiles vanished, posture stiffened, banter ceased. The journalist felt a chill run down her thorax. A new human approached, a woman with a military bearing. She sat without asking. You want to know why we're really the gods of war? She asked quietly. Watch what happens next. Those pirates just made the worst mistake of their lives. They broke one of humanity's fundamental rules.